Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. My name is Stepan, and I am super excited for this demo today. Welcome back, because it's full of anniversaries, actually. It's been yesterday, or no, 2 days ago. It's been 1 year in the States for me since I moved. And Georgios, our guest, is going to present Archiboost, and tomorrow is their anniversary, the company anniversary. So that's exciting. However, before we get to that, I just wanted to remind you of something exciting I launched last week. So if you haven't seen it, of course, my company AI and AC, what we do is help architects and engineers learn and implement AI, because it's not about tools, it's about workflows and how to make them work for you. So I just want to like I guess funnel your attention to one thing. We have our Mastering AI and AC course launching right now. You can see it here. And what this is going to give you access to is our new school community, where you can chat with other people, you can ask questions, and of course, you can learn from all of our courses. So this is something exciting we've been building for a while now. There's a lot of lessons inside. And of course, we were going to have live events. First one is starting on 9th of April, and then I'm going to be announcing the plan and progress of things. And probably the most exciting part of this is this map where you can see where everybody's from. So here in the States, we have a bunch of people joining, but pretty much we have 75 countries. So not everybody from every country has joined yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing those people join as well. So this is something that you can then see who is it from your country here and connect with them and so on. And yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to show you, the new community we have launched. And I'm super excited to welcome more people and more students to it. So if you're interested, go to our Mastering AI and AC, and then you can learn more about it. The course launch is finalizing on April 1st, so make sure to enroll before then. And yeah, you're going to get access to not only the course and the lessons, it's going to teach you everything about AI and how to implement it, how to use it, what works, what doesn't work. But it's also going to give you this amazing community to speak with and live events to join, especially as we keep on building AI and AC. Anyways, that was it from me. And now I want to welcome, let me just pull myself back here. Georgios, welcome to our show. Good to have you.
Thank you, Stepan. Great having. Thank you so much for having me. I've been following the webinar for a while, so great to be here.
Yeah, you said, is it like a dream come true to go come and see
It
the
is. It was my dream, man. I didn't see anyone from Greece on your map. We need to work on that.
Yeah, I do have some Greek students. They just haven't enrolled yet. I'm telling you,
Okay.
moving 1,000 people over from like Kajabi, what we use, to school, there's a bunch of reactions. Most people just don't answer their email or don't see it. So you have a bunch of people thinking it's a scam. So
I know. I know.
yeah,
Yes.
and then I send Loom videos. It's not a scam. It's real. It's happening. It's a benefit. So yeah, but it's gonna work out. So I'm
It
pretty
takes
sure.
time. It takes time to build the digital footprint with your website and all this. So
Mm.
we've been through that. So.
Yeah, tell me about that. Like, tell me about yourself. I know you're Greek, but I don't know anything about Archiboost. I don't know how you guys got started. I don't know how you got started with this whole thing. So tell us
Yeah.
more about that.
Happy to give you a little bit of my background. So I'm Georgios or Yorgos. I'm originally from Greece. I spent the last 20 years either studying architecture or working in the AC industry. So again, originally from Greece, did my undergrad and first master's there. Worked on everything from single family homes to museums in K-12. And then I moved to the US for my second master's at UC Berkeley and spent the last decade here in San Francisco working for firms like SOM and WRNS Studio. And along the way, I became licensed in California, Texas, the UK, and Greece. So it is an industry I know very well. But more importantly, I've really felt the pain firsthand. So that's my background. And then
Okay, you put
um,
20 minutes into like 30 seconds. That's
no,
amazing.
no, 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 no. That's the intro. That's the intro. We'll
20,
go
20
deep.
years. Sorry, 20 years.
We'll go deep if you want. We can go really deep.
No, I'm
I
joking.
can.
I'm joking. Yeah.
And then I teamed up with my co-founder Vasu. Vasu is one of these crazy guys, crazy engineer. He I think he finished his degree in like 2.5 years, because he just wanted to go out there and work on real companies. He worked for Meta, and then
Wow.
he decided that's not for him because it's a big corporation. So he joined a startup called Nukes AI. He was the first employee. I make fun of him saying he was a founder without the equity of a founder, because
Wow. Yeah.
he joined them really early on. He stayed with them for 4 years. They've raised a lot of money from the big VC companies, and he became the head of engineering just before he left. So he was there to build the company, and he understands how to build from 0 to 1. How do you build a company that can go from one user to thousands of users?
Okay, that's amazing. So the two of you are the co-founders, and do you have like a bigger team now, or like how is it?
So we hired our two founding engineers. So the company started roughly last February. We officially incorporated March 25th, 2025. So tomorrow is a 1 year anniversary.
Nice.
And then we got our two founding engineers. We hired a bunch more. We are 8 people.
Mm,
So we're growing fast.
okay, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. No, it's it's
Yeah.
it's been a crazy ride.
But why are you growing fast? Meaning that what is the problem you're solving for who and how?
So architects and engineers and people in the AC industry are incredibly smart. They are detail oriented, but they're overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information they have to process, right? Before they even start designing. Um, I want to pull up an image. I don't know if
Ah,
I can
yeah,
share my
yeah. Let
screen.
me. Yes, there you go.
Do you see
Yeah, we
that?
can see it. Yeah, we can see it. You can maybe zoom in a bit. I
Okay,
can see
okay.
two monitors, and then I see, I guess you or yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little shitty. It's been a decade since that. So
All right.
that project behind me is the Moscone Center in San Francisco. It's fully built now. It's a huge convention center.
Hmm.
And then above that, that's me at SOM redlining drawings. That's 2 a.m. There's no light out there.
Wow.
um, so yeah, I mean, this is the reality of everyone, right? The 2 a.m. red lines, fixing coordination issues that should have been caught weeks earlier. Um, Projects get delayed, the permits get delayed because of missed code interpretations.
Mhm.
And we spend hours and hours manually cross-referencing, drawing specs, codes, information in general, the data we have. There are three structural problems behind all this. So the first one is that data is fragmented. So the project knowledge is everywhere. It's in drawings, it's in specs, consultants, codes. Nothing lives in one place. Then you have institutional knowledge, the firm knowledge, the client information, and that critical knowledge lives in the heads of senior team members. And when they leave because they either retire or they move to another firm, that knowledge lives with them, right? So the project they solved 2 years ago, when I'm trying to solve the same problem, I don't have this knowledge anymore. They left, right? And the third one is we catch all of these issues in CDs or construction. So instead of during the early design, when everything is cheaper to fix, right? Um, and the result is the same for every firm. Like they have to do rework, they have to delay their projects, and the
Mhm.
margins disappear. And what we're building with Archiboost is this intelligence layer that connects all of this, so teams can catch those issues earlier, they can move faster, and they can focus more on design.
Okay, I
It's a
understand.
little, it's a little vague and broad. We're gonna go deeper and explain what I mean.
Okay,
Um,
but your focus is on architects, right?
we started with architects, and we've expanded to code consultants, engineers, and now we're seeing strong pull from contractors and developers. So
Wow.
we're covering the whole AC industry.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, tell me more. Tell me, like, you wanna go and show us, or you wanna,
Yeah, I
because I
mean,
want to understand what the platform like
yes,
does and how it
I can
works.
tell you some things first, and then we can jump into the
Yeah,
live
please,
demo.
please.
So
Yeah, it's yeah. As I've said, it's your show. So.
thank you. So yeah, when I was working at WRNS and SOM, I did a lot of different projects, right? So I did from multifamily residential to higher education buildings, office spaces, and the common denominator for all of these was, first of all, building code. So we started there. We always had to pull a PDF that we bought from the International Code Council, or we had to go and Google things. We had to later, there were other platforms. I should probably not mention their name. But the common denominator was you would always go back to find the section of the code. Um, and then I had to go to my senior architects and try to get their interpretation on what's happening, right? Um, and that was slow. And we made mistakes. And then you would go and do your permit, submit for permit, or you get the plan reviewer comments, and then that would waste my time again and again and again, or work with code consultants. So that was the first part. So we're solving this in a way that we've built AI agents where you can go and ask any code question. We can verify the information with all the links and the citations coming directly from the building code. We don't just support building code, we do everything. We do building code, fire, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, energy, anything that you need for your project. And then we span from the international building codes all the way to state codes and municipal codes. So even zoning. We have a lot of people who are been using the platform for the feasibility studies, where they can go ask the question about their project. We can generate zoning summaries and code summaries, and they can start designing. So the goal for the platform in general was to build something that is one platform that connects everything. We understand that AEC professionals, they don't just do one thing. We're not lawyers, I guess, or accountants. It's focusing on one thing, right? So the guy who's doing a feasibility study is doing something completely different than the guy who's working on construction details or someone who's working in construction administration. So we wanted to fit all of these different solutions under one platform. Because one thing we've been hearing a lot from our clients and design partners is software fatigue. Like, oh, I need to buy this software for this, and I need to buy this software for that. So can we combine everything under one umbrella? So code compliance was the first one. And actually, I can share my screen, and if you can pull that up, and I can show you how it works.
Yes, now we should. There it is. We see it now.
Okay. So this is a platform. One thing we wanted to make sure is that we don't just give answers to your code. We just don't just retrieve the code sections for you, because everyone can just find the PDF and say, okay, this is a section of the code. That's what it says. We wanted to make sure that our agents understand your project deeply. So let me go into one project. So you can go and create a project. You'll add the name, you'll add the city, the zip codes, and all this fun stuff. And once you create it, you can go in here. Let me close all these guys here.
And maybe I can just ask if you can just zoom in a bit.
Oh, sure.
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Better? Okay.
Yes. Perfect.
So the first thing when you build the project, we have what we call a memory. So this is a project, that's one of my babies, actually. The Maritime Academy I did in Vallejo, so I use this as an example. So imagine you have a team, they put together, you have the project architects, you have the juniors, the code experts. You will go here and you can add sticky notes and explain, basically do a brain dump here. So everything you know about the project goes in here. So my project is there, that's the location. What I want to use is the code bundle is California 2019, because that was what we used. I have a features there maybe, or I can delete that. My construction type is 3B. And once I add all this information, I'll go and upload all my documents for the project. So let's say I just finished my 100% design development set. So I'm gonna go and upload the BODs, the drawing set, the specs, client standards, the comments I got from the plan reviewer, or the cost estimate, or even the meeting minutes and submittals. And once I upload all this information, I can go to Russ. I'll pause here. I'll give you a backstory for Russ. Russ is Russell, and he was the partner and code expert at WRNS. He was one of my mentors. And when we started this, we went to him and we started showing him the agent. And Russ is one of these guys who yells at the contractors on the phone, and he's kind of old school. He doesn't like computers. So we go to him and say, hey, we built this AI agent that we're trying to replace you with because you just retired. And WRNS was one of the first design partners. And he started laughing and said, yeah, there's no way you can do that because AI is dumb. And we go there and we show him that we can start retrieving this code sections. And he's like, no one's going to buy this because people can find the code sections. What you really need to do is provide compliance paths. So if you can find me the solution, then you have a money making, like a money printing machine. So first version, it was shitty. Then we went back to him and convinced him, and I will show you how. So I just selected the code. Well, I'll start with something really simple. Let's go and say, what should be the fire rating for my primary structure? And the average answer takes anywhere between, I don't know, 5 and 30, 40 seconds. But what Russ is doing is going back, it's looking at all the context you have from your memory and all the documents, and then it's going to come back and give me the answer for this. So the beauty of this is that I don't have to explain anything to him. I don't have to go and say, my project is a construction type 3B. It's a higher education building. It's a B occupancy. It has a sprinkler or it doesn't have a sprinkler. It just understands everything. So the way we used to do this is I would go down the corridor, I would go to Russ and say, hey, this is what I have. What do you think about the project? And that's what we try to emulate here. So the agent comes back, it says, it's a Mayo Hall renovation in addition. The primary structural frame should be 0 hours because we know the construction type is 3B. We have a full analysis. We have the citations. And when people started using this, so we have a summary, next steps, everything you need is in here. When we started this, people were really skeptical again. So we needed to add those links. So if I click on this guy here, it will take me to the International Code Council. You see the full table, so you can verify what we told you. We were on a call last week with a PA from one of the companies that we work, and he works in Seattle. We did a live demo for him because we just extended the we roll out to more people in the firm, and he's like, no, I think you guys are wrong. And he checked the code. He's the code expert. He clicks on that link. He goes here. He's like, oh shit, I'm wrong. So yeah, and this is the super easy and simple example, right? So I'll go and do an even more interesting one where now I'm going to go and include documents in there. So I'm gonna go and select my BOD, my drawing set, and my specs. And at the same time, I'm going to include the lead Bible. So one of the things that architects do, they have to check if their building can hit a LEED certification, right? So I have a pre-populated question here. It says, please analyze my drawing set, identify the design elements, and tell me if I can hit LEED Gold, basically. It's right here. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to click enter. And then this one will go back and combine different sources of information. So it will use the memory we have about the project. It will use all the documents I uploaded. So the drawing set, the specs, the BOD, and then it will also go into the LEED Bible and try to see how we can hit LEED Gold, extracting information from there. That thing alone that I'm showing you here, it's probably 2 coordination calls with the sustainability consultant, plus maybe a couple of days of work for an architect, and we will do it in 30 seconds. And of course, we don't try to replace those people. We just try to get the information to them fast. So this one came back. It says, what I see in the BOD is that you have 56 points. You need another 29 points to hit the LEED Gold threshold. This is what you support right now in your building. So if I click on this one, it will take me to the page of the document, the BOD, and it will show me exactly where we extracted this information. This one is probably a big file, so it's taking some time. And then as I scroll down while this is loading, you'll see it has the next steps and says, well, if you want to get LEED Gold accreditation, you need to hit those milestones. So the project currently targets 5 out of 18 possible points. These are the required next steps. So here, renewable energy production, you have 0 points. You can get 3 points at least. So if you add PV panels, for example, you'll get those points. Materials, the project target is 1 of the 2 points. That's how you can get more points for you. Same for acoustic performance, the LEED. So, and you can get a summary and next steps on how to hit those. This one is probably a large file. Let me see if I can open another one. Right here. So it took me directly to the scorecard of the project. You can go and review the points that you have right now. And then if I go here and I click on this guy, oops, sorry, this one will take me to the base of design for acoustics, where I see where I have suggested points and where I can get more points. So now it's not just a code agent, it's a knowledge agent. You can go there and find anything you need. At the same time, Russ can also try to find information about your firm data. So we have another location where you can go and upload your firm data. So for example, beam standards. So let me show you this example. Companies have a lot of standards like the city checklist and the city standards and beam standards. I'll show you my favorite example here. Can I use in place model families per company standards to model things in Revit? So imagine all these companies that they have their internal standards that you have to do something in a specific way, or you have to avoid some of the things. This one can basically educate people. So this one came back, said based on the 2026 beam standards in place this is generally prohibited, right? You should never use this. And again, if I click on the citation, it will take me here to the specific document, and it will say you shouldn't be doing this. That's where you verify the information. So a lot of different applications of how people can use this, from code to documents to combining all these different sources. I want to show you a couple more things for the first module we have. So we have 3 modules in the platform. We have the code and document expert, we have the detail library, and we have the QA/QC. So after I finish with the first module, I'll pause from questions from the audience, and then from there we can move to the next one. So before we go there, let me show you a couple more things. So we have a zoning agent. The moment you have the address, we generate automatically the land uses and the development controls. And these are agnostic to the project for the first layer of it. And then let me show you an example in New York, because I think New York is probably the most difficult one to get right for zoning. So I'll go to calculators. The way it works is, and I can copy this to show you the example. I'll click on it. So based on the information we have from the project, we extract the zoning profile for your building. We can exactly understand how many square footage it is, what kind of uses you have. New York is really complex, so you can go all the way to where the primary frontage is wide or narrow. And once you make sure that all this information is correct and that's what you're looking for, you'll click run, and then you'll click zoning summary. So I'm going to start running this, and we're generating a zoning analysis. This takes roughly 4 to 5 minutes, so I can show you the result here. So the zoning analysis looks something like that. So we are generating the zoning profile for you, and then the regulation, what's proposed, and whether it's complying or not. So architects, when they start a feasibility project, they are looking for the uses and whether you can have these kind of use in your specific zoning district. FARs, so we can tell you that based on what we see, for this specific zoning district, it's 902 FAR for residential, and that's the maximum you can get based on the parcel you have. That's what the client proposed, so it complies. Same thing for commercial and community, whether a tower is permitted in this specific zoning district, the base heights, the maximum building height, the setbacks, parking ratios, you name it, lot coverage, everything. So these zoning analysis, again, takes days for an architect to do. We generate this in 3 minutes. And of course, everything is backed by citation. So it will take me exactly to the New York City zoning resolution, to the specific section of the code, so you can review all the information for accuracy. The last one before I pause, we also do the code analysis. So I'll go back to my calculator here. Let's copy this. So I'm going back to the project that I had. Whenever I was a project architect for my projects, I have to do a comprehensive code analysis for all my projects. So that's something you do early on to make sure that what you're designing makes sense, but also you keep doing it at every milestone to make sure that you adhere to the standards and the code requirements for this project. So again, we extract the information from all the documents and all the memories that you added to Russ. And once you're here, you'll see we have different parameters. So we have a 2-story building here. We extracted information like the function of space and the occupancy, the areas you have, number of stories, whether it's mixed or separated or non-separated occupancy, what's the construction type and what's the sprinkler status. And I'll go here once I'm done, and I'll click code summary. I'm gonna start running this, and as you will see, we're generating a code summary. We have people select email me when it's done if they want to see the immediate results. Oops, let me show you the one that's already done here. And the code summary would look like this. So we will create a comprehensive list of all the requirements for your building. Again, these things take days. We generate this in 4 to 5 minutes. So you have the construction type. We can tell you if it passed or not, and we have comments on the side, the occupancy classification, fire resistive requirements. Everything is backed by, again, by citation, so you can go and verify this information. Um, and we go really deep. We can find information like what's the maximum allowable proposed area for the single floor or the total building, the maximum building height, the maximum number of stories, the total occupant load for your building, the number of exits you need, dead end corridors, common path of travel, exit travel distance, things that architects, because they don't have enough time, get wrong a lot of the times. And those things will generate comments from the plan reviewers, and those things will delay your project. So we create this comprehensive list, and you can just take this and keep going. That was the first module that I wanted to present. So I'm going to pause here for any comments or questions, and then I'll come back to the next feature.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, Georgios, this is great. I think that like I'm really curious to see because like code compliance, as you've said before, like it's doing it in minutes instead of hours. But don't get me wrong, I think it's what we've seen before. So I think like we had the guests and so on. So I'm really interested in all of these like other like QA QC and the intelligence layer, what you said about knowledge, because like what I'm trying to understand now is like you're probably moving into a direction of like, hey, let's get all the knowledge we can. We can talk about the roadmap a bit later. My question though is, so you're focused on the United States, I'm guessing here.
We started from the States, but so funnily enough, we have a couple of calls. There's a company in China that wants to try this, and yesterday we got a call from a company in Dubai. So there's no limit right now. Honestly, we cover all 50 states and all the municipal codes, but we're rapidly expanding to other areas. So the location is not a blocker, honestly.
Okay, nice. And what about because I saw feet and inches, but do you also support like metric system?
We absolutely do. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I mean, it's a question.
I mean, that was so when I moved to the US, I had to adjust to this. So it's easy for me now to just change between
Yeah.
those two.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not there yet, so. Yeah. All right. Cool. Listen, we have no questions from the audience for now.
Okay.
But yeah, please, anybody listening, if you have anything, ask. We're doing this for you. So, but if not, I mean, of course, you can always contact your Archiboost.ai. That's the website.
Yes, I can send the link on the chat for the website, and I can also send you
I
my
sent it.
email.
It's okay. There it
You
is.
did? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, please go on.
Okay. So next one. So knowledge. Um, it's not just the let me refresh this. Knowledge is not just the information that the senior people have in their heads, of course, and the project knowledge, but it's also how we can learn from the past mistakes we made. So we created a detail library of your past details, and that actually came through one of our clients. So we built different things, and they said, can you also build a detail library for us, because that's a huge bottleneck. So we went here, and what we do is that we have an integration for Autodesk Construction Cloud, so we can extract all the drafting views, create this library. At the same time, our agents behind the scenes, they go and they extract information about your project from the G-Sheets. So anything related to your project, so from the client name or the construction type, the occupancy, because finding a detail for a multi-family residential building in Florida is not going to be the same as for an exterior wall. It's not going to be the same as the same type of building in California, right? So the vapor barrier will be on the other side of the insulation. It's completely different. So what we do here, I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to type fire extinguisher cabinet. Came back, showed me the detail. I have it right here. I will open this, and you can see that detail that existed on that specific project. We see all the project information, of course. If I go to the seat, we can see the exact seat that this detail came from. And then if I go to the seat, we have all the seat details here. One thing we are helping firms do is create a list of vetted details and standard details. So a lot of companies have made mistakes along the way after they constructed buildings, and they understand that they shouldn't be doing this that way. So we have this cabinet example here. So maybe someone goes in the comments and say, deprecate this detail, we shouldn't be using this. So the account admin, they can go and retire this detail so people are not using it anymore. Whenever you have this green outline, that means that this is a standard detail, so this is safe to use. But people are, of course, allowed to go and look at the details from past projects and learn from them. We're adding more capabilities, like creating cartoon sets and all that, but that's probably, we're going way into the nitty-gritty. I'm going to show you how we instantaneously can send details into Revit. So I'll click import to Revit here. Let me bring Revit over there. And we have a Revit plugin that I'm going to pull here. And if I click on the detail library, you see I'm going to reload the queue. This is the detail I just loaded. I will click import. And then in 3 to 4 seconds, the detail will load in there, and it will be automatically upgraded. And then it will be also, let me see, what was the name of the detail? Because I forgot. It's called G10118. So if I go to G101, oops, there it is. And when we load the detail, we have this watermark just for people to make sure that they understand that this is imported from Archiboost and also from which project it's coming from. So I'm going to delete this, and then you'll see that everything is editable. So the main problem for this is that you go down the corridor, you ask someone, have we done a fiber cement panel facade before? And they will tell you, oh yeah, I know Georgios did this 3 years ago on this project. And then you go to find Georgios and he's not at the firm anymore. Or even if he is, he'll tell you, oh yeah, I don't remember if it's exactly what you're looking for. Then you're going on a scavenger hunt, trying to find that detail. You're opening PDFs, then you have to open the Revit file, upgrade it. It takes 2-3 hours to do so. And then finally, when you open it, that's not the detail you want. Or people get bored along the way and they start redrawing details from scratch. So again, we're trying to give the information, the data, the tools to architects to be more efficient and faster, so that they don't have to deal with the tedious and repetitive tasks. So that is the detail library. That's the second feature we have. Again, I'll pause here before we go to the QA/QC.
Yeah, this is great, man. Yeah, I'm still waiting for somebody to ask a question. So I guess the way you explain it is pretty clear. So.
Okay, either it's clear or people are bored.
No, it's either clear or super unclear, and I hope
exactly. Yes.
And we hope it's the first one.
Okay.
So how does this connection work again? So you can, like, these details, like, do you need to upload them? Can you, like, how does this connection between like AutoCAD and Revit and work with Archiboost?
So the way we onboard teams is that we work with the account admin, who's normally the director of technology of the company, or a partner if it's a smaller firm. And they integrate. We have an integration for Construction Cloud. They can go and log in there, and they click a button and select the projects they want to send to Archiboost. And then our AI agents, they extract all the details, all the images for the previewing, and then all the information for the filters. Excuse me. And then for AutoCAD, because there's no relevant thing as Construction Cloud for this, they have to upload a folder with the details they want. And once they do this, they can easily render everything in the library. So there's no real push from their side. They just have to upload something. It takes 15 minutes. I don't know, maybe less, and then everything else is done by our agents.
Okay, interesting. I'm just thinking, like, I think you have definitely, I don't know, this is technology related. Later, I know, like, how to connect this with MCPs and where people already have their like files stored. But I think this is what any startup does right now. But like, how do you connect with the files where they are instead of like, hey, I need to pull them up and so on.
Right. And again, the integration is the way to go. So even for the documents I was showing before on for Russ, we are building an integration where you can just upload your files directly from the server. So you get just sync and you don't have to go and upload all the documents. And while we work on this, we are getting more and more feedback from the design partners. So one of them is the marketing director of a company that we work with, and he was telling us the other day that, well, if all the information lives on Archiboost, now I don't need to have Google Drives and Airtable and all that, because I can just go and pull the information from Archiboost and start creating proposals and do staffing with the information I have here. So the more information it gets on Archiboost, the more relevant it becomes for everyone in the firm.
No, and that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm
Yeah.
seeing in the platform. That like, okay, because like I've seen platforms that, as I mentioned, that can do code compliance before, but they haven't seen a platform yet that does and code compliance and drawing checks and like this intelligence layer, the knowledge, and probably like so you're kind of going wide as well. Like you have this use case and that use case and this use case. So that's very interesting. That's very
Because
interesting.
we feel, I mean, again, I've lived that, because I've done from feasibilities to CA on projects, and
Mm,
architects, they don't do one thing, right? I've worked on
yeah.
marketing efforts at some point when I would go and present to a client and say, this is
Mm,
our request for proposal. So there are a lot of different things, and architects, again, they don't want to buy 20 different things. Can we just buy one place where we upload all of our stuff and it becomes the ground truth for the firm?
mhm.
That's why we're seeing a lot of, you asked a question way earlier when you said, why are you growing so fast? Because there's tremendous pull from firms. They see this, that, oh, we can use Archiboost and we can replace those two different tools that we had. Plus we are getting AI, where it's everyone right now they're after, right? So
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, awesome. Yes, please go on.
third one.
Okay, we actually have a question. Thank you, Nadia,
Okay.
for asking. Sorry, Georgios. Nadia is asking, does it recognize the different versions of Revit?
It does. So you'll see here, we have Revit 23 and then we have Revit 25. So it completely understands what's the version of Revit. And then when you pull it in and the Revit from the plugin we have, it automatically does the upgrade for you. And it doesn't do it on the parent file. So the parent file stays intact, but the detail you're pulling in is getting upgraded.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Nadia, for your question. Thank you, Georgios, for the answer. Let's go
Of
on.
course. I'll show you QEQC. That's my personal favorite. So that how does this work? You will go. That's the one that we've seen that has zero training. People who are using Archiboost for QEQC are mostly senior principals. They are the person you have in mind. They're not great with technology, but they are super seasoned, super experts on how to find mistakes on drawing sets. Tremendous experience in how to flag all these violations. But these people are working on multiple projects. They are super overworked, right? So what we've seen is that they can just go here, that you will say, I'm going to create 100%, I don't know, CD set, and then you'll go and upload your drawings and your specifications. If the specifications are part of this, I'm just going to click on that guy. And then we have an optional upload of your Revit file. It allows us to get more structured data. It's completely optional, and you'll go and create a request. Depending on the volume of the set you're uploading, we've seen our agents work from 15 minutes all the way to 2.5 days. So there was a client who uploaded a 25-page set. I think it took the agents 15 minutes to review, and then it created the tickets. We had a project that I think the largest one we've done was 6,000 pages, and that was specs and drawing sets, including all the disciplines. I think they also uploaded probably the BOD, and that took, I want to say, 3 days for the agent to review, because we have multiple agents looking at different things. And I'll show you how it looks as the result. So I'll click on View Results here. So we're generating those tickets for the clients, and then you can see them by seats. So that was one of the things that were telling us, is like, as I'm marking up the drawings and I'm reviewing those tickets, I want to make sure that I can do it seat by seat, or we have a priority. So our agents are smart enough to go and say, well, if it's a typo somewhere, well, that's a low ticket. You still need to fix it, but it's not going to cause a plan review comment, right? But we have other tickets that are super important. So let me find one. Let's say, I think it's a medium one, that one, and it's gonna have to do with some specifications. Let's find it. I don't see it here, but we can look at one of these. So it does a lot of different things. One is it can go and check the drawings against the specs. A lot of mistakes there. There's so dense and so much information that those things slip, and they eventually create RFIs and of course change orders later on. I think the average RFI in the US costs something like $700 to the architect and then $2,000 to the whole team fixing those. So we are tackling this. But those things are easier to catch for, I guess, any kind of agent who might be, or any company who might be a competitor. Where this really shines Archiboost is when it starts understanding images, and then it goes really deep on code compliance, and then any violation that it's not just text. So I'm going to show you an example here. There is an example where in the fire life safety plans, this is a big set, so it might take a while to load. But on the fire life safety plans, the architects, they place the remote point, and anyone on the audience, if they don't know what a remote point is or a fire life safety plan, have to answer that. But they place it in the bathroom. That's not the best practice per code, or how we do it in general in architecture, because the bathrooms, they don't have a occupant load per code. So the remote point needs to be placed in another room and prove that the maximum travel distance works. So the agent goes in here, it highlights the mistake. As you can see, if I hover over, it tells me what's the issue. And then we get a description and a recommendation. So here it says, well, this shouldn't be in the bathroom. You should place it here or somewhere else. So that's one of the violations. That's not a text-based violation to be able to catch easily. I'm going to show you another one where we have a wall assembly. That's also something that when we show it to the client, it blew their mind. So this one basically says that I see 3 different sources of information. We have a plumbing stack, and then we have a wall assembly. The wall is type A3, and I'll show you the linked assets. It's a 3 5/8 metal stud. And then the plumbing stack has a sanitary stack, which is S14W, and that pipe is 4.5 inches. So basically, it's physically impossible to fit that pipe into that wall assembly. So how did we know that? I'll click on the architectural drawing. You'll see that the agent went here and highlighted the wall. It's a little more complex than just finding this information, because the enlarged plan shows the tag. Then that tag takes you to the partition schedule. So if I go here, sorry, that's the plumbing drawing. The plumbing drawing will show you the pipe and the sanitary stack. And then the partition schedule will show us here highlighted that that specific wall is a 3 5/8 stud. So it's making sure that we connect all the different dots and all the different information under one unified answer, and telling the user that you need to change the partition type to A6, which you have right here, to make sure that the plumbing will accommodate the sanitary stack. So things like that are slipping through the cracks all the time. And those things will create RFIs and change orders later on, costing both architects money for the rework, the plumbing engineer, and then of course the client who will get his project delayed. Because most of these things, they happen on site. You'll go there, the GC is reviewing the drawings, they're like, oh, what the fuck, we need to change this. And then you have to add more days and more money on this. So that's how the QAQC works. We have, of course, other capabilities, like you can, once you're done, you can click on one of these statuses. So we copied the nomenclature from Bluebeam here because people are familiar with it. So you can accept a ticket, you can reject it, you can mark it as complete or cancel this. You can assign it to your team members. So I'm going to assign it to Vasu here so that he knows that that's him who should take care of this. And then you can also export this as an Excel file. So I just download the tickets, or if I go back here, all the markups that I have on the drawings, I can just download the new PDF and it will include all the markups. So That's roughly the QEQC. So we're catching coordination issues among the different disciplines. We're catching compliance issues and trying to reduce that risk. And then also, of course, anything that's less impactful, like drawing seat index, or if your stamp is not at the right place, or you're missing a north arrow or something like that.
All right, man. I love this part. I love the QAQC.
That's my personal favorite.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's amazing that you can catch things on drawings after like the code and after like what's and you get recommendations as well. Amazing. How hard it is to train something like this?
Ooh, it took us a year.
Yeah.
It's not. I've been saying that to a lot of people because they're saying, oh yeah, like ChatGPT can do this or something like that. No, no. It takes a village to build something like this. You have to have the domain expertise. Um, we built this from experience. Like I know how you review drawings. Oops, sorry about this. I know how you review drawings. By the way, I'm gonna show this. This is my favorite architect in the U.S., Frank Lloyd Wright. So this is our motto. He said that a lot of many years ago. So he said you can either fix something when you're designing it, or on site, and it's going to be really expensive for you because you have to take the hammer and start tearing things down.
Mm,
So that's our motto. But yeah, I was saying it takes a village to build something like this. So you need tremendous uh, um, industry experience to be able to know how to go deep and find the right things. It's not just dumping your drawing set on Gemini or ChatGPT and saying find mistakes. Then you need people who are crazy with technology, like Vasu. I keep saying that to everyone. He's a fucking beast. He builds things so fast, and of course, we're using all the tools out there, Cursor and Claude, that makes everyone fast. But having a CTO like him, that's how you build those things. And then
mm,
having the talent, the founding engineers that I get messages on Slack at 1 a.m. on a Saturday because someone is not sleeping and they're just crazy about fixing this and making it better. Uh, World-class investors. We are happy and lucky enough to have Hanabi as the main investor in this. So there is this. It's kind of weird and cliche, but there's this thing called Midas list where they
mhm,
have the top VCs in the world, and Mike, who is the general partner at Hanabi, he's number 14 of the world investors or something. So these people have been tremendous partners from day one, and
mm,
of course the last one, the design partners we have, the firms that have been using this from day one. We went to all of these AEC leaders, leading firms, not just the mom and pop shop, and they sat down with us and we started building together, giving us raw feedback, shaping the product from day one. So seeing this being used on real project, that's how you build this. So again, you asked how easy it is to build this. It's really difficult.
yeah. Let's talk about the question of trust, both trust in the platform, so like
Yes.
about data, and the
Mhm.
trust that how much can architects and engineers, and now in this case, also trust your platform to like give them at least 90%. Like, how should the workflow look like? Because I'm thinking like, okay, now they can check drawings, they can check code, but do they need
Mhm.
to recheck it themselves? Do they need to like, how does that workflo look like? So, I mean, I know it's
Let's
two questions, but yeah.
no. Those are great questions and we hear them every day. Let's start with code compliance. We've run a lot of benchmarks on this. I understand the liability and I understand what when you stamp a drawing. I've stamped drawings as a licensed architect, right? I understand the liability. If you stamp a drawing and something goes wrong, it's not going to go wrong today or tomorrow. It will come back and bite you in the ass 20 years from now because you're liable 20 years from now. So I understand the weight of stamping drawings. So we've run rigorous benchmarks to understand how accurate this is. So we went to the horizontal models, the ChatGPTs and the Claudes and the Geminis, and we started asking questions there. And I would say they were probably 40% accurate. We've run 2,000 questions, different books, different jurisdictions. Then we started asking those questions using our competitor software because we bought subscriptions there. And most of them, they were hovering between 60 and 65% maybe. And then we run the same questions on Russ, and we are at 98% accuracy. So is it 100% accurate? No. If someone tells you they are, they're lying. But it is probably more accurate than a human right now because people make mistakes too, right? We're not replacing architects. What we want to make sure is that we give them the right tools to be fast enough. And I'll go back to what Russ, my mentor, said. Architects are a little bit like lawyers. So technically, you can find loopholes and build a case and get your permit approved by the authority having jurisdiction if you build the case in a great way. So you can design and build everything you want as long as you build a case. So we are giving them the tools. We are offering the compliance paths so they can speed up the process and get to their final goal, right? The QA/QC, kind of the same thing. Are we catching everything? No, but we're catching more than what humans will catch because those drawing sets and specs are so dense. So the workflow is we have the architect go and ask the code question. They have to review the answer, of course, because they are liable for this. We are not liable. And then the same thing for the QA/QC. They will submit. We've seen people who they do it two ways. One way is they take the first pass on their own. Normally, it takes a week or two, depending on the size of the project, to review those projects. On a big company, I'll give you an example. One of the projects we run, there were 3 seasoned architects, senior principals. They run the QA/QC process with us. We found the mistakes, and then they went review the tickets. They spent 1 or 2 days instead of spending 2 weeks. So that's the amount of time we saved them. And everyone was really skeptical in the beginning, and now we're getting so much inbound from companies from these people because they understand the value. Again, we don't catch everything, but we catch more than what you would catch manually. That's the trust part. We can talk about security and all the other information.
Let's talk about security.
Yeah. So we are first of all, the first thing we did is that we became SOC 2 certified. So this is the industry standard for security, data encryption, and all that. The data we have. Let me find the right way that Vasu says this. We are a multi-tenant account where your data is never shared across firms. So if you are WRNS, who is one of our clients, their data lives in one place, and then our other clients, they're not going to see that. So you only see the data that lives in your partition. Then we don't train our models on your project data. The IP stays with you. So Autodesk, for example, they have this fine printing saying, well, you upload things here. Well, we can start training our data, our models with your data. Or I've heard people saying, oh, what about security? Do you train blah, blah, blah? Well, when you upload your things on ChatGPT or Gemini Pro, these guys, they own your data, the IP, right? Even when all these people, they go in and upload their plans and they say, oh, Nano Banana, give me a rendering. Well, technically now they are allowed to use your plan somewhere else. So that's one thing we wanted to make sure that this data stays with you. Your IP is yours. We don't train the models on your project data. And everything is fully isolated, encrypted. We don't see anything. We've designed the system so firms can use this on real projects and not just experiments, right? It's been a core requirement from day one.
How do firms start working with you? So what's the process of that? Do they go to your website? They book a call? How does that all work?
So in the early days, I reached out to my friends in firms because I'm an architect. They are principals, they're directors, and we started working with them. Now we've evolved to either inbound because they've heard from their friends that it works and it's great, so they come to us, or they go to the website and they book a demo. What we do is because we don't want to get people money and run, right? What we want to do is that we want to make sure that they understand that this is valuable and it saves them time. The ROI is there. So they book a call. We do a small pilot of 2 weeks with a small group within one firm. So we ideally do 1 or 2 projects, 4 to 5 people. We make sure that they understand how to use this and make the most out of it. And then in 2 weeks, we put together an impact report to show how they've used it, how much time they saved. Sorry about this. And then they can build a case, and we go together to the partnership and say, now it's the next step is to roll this out to more people, and eventually we get to the enterprise deal where the whole firm gets it. So those are kind of the steps. We've seen companies who they jump directly to 30 licenses, right? But those are rare cases.
Okay, nice. And how do you price this? Do you make a custom quote for each of the companies, or do you have like a...
So we have a standard pricing for the agent. So Russ, the knowledge and code agent, is per seat per month. That's one bucket. Then we have the detail library, which is unlimited licenses for everyone in the company for a flat fee per month. And then the last one, QAQC, this is priced per project. So, and per page, basically, because if you upload a 1,000 page document, it's different than 25 pages, right? And the reason we did this is both for them, but also for us. So if you're a firm and this month you don't want to run anything, you don't have to pay anything. Next month you have 5 projects, that's when you pay. For us also, to protect ourselves a little bit, if we've given them a subscription, we are sure that people will go and run this every day. And there's a lot of computing costs on our end to run the QAQC behind the scenes for 3 days, right? So that's per project. For the big companies, we can do enterprise deals. For the smaller companies, we have some bundles. So we have clients that are 5-people firms in New York and California. We have 40-people firms in Portland, and then we have 350, 400 people companies here in California and Chicago and New York. So pricing adjusts a little bit with the size of the firm, because of course the 5-people firm cannot pay the money that Gensler can, or SOM or HOK or KPF, right? So we try to be understanding of this, and the goal is to get this to everyone.
Okay, thank you. Nadia is asking another question here, and like, what are exact prices? But I guess, as you said, like, you would need to learn more about her situation and company and so on to be able to quote her, or...
Yes. We need to talk to them, and then we can make them adjusted pricing for them. Because
Okay.
again, if you are a big firm or you're a 5-people firm, we have a firm that is 2 people, so that's
Yeah,
completely different. That's someone else, right?
yeah, of 2,000 or something. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Listen, I think you mentioned a little bit about competition, but I just want to reflect back on that question. Is like, because companies who are still onboarding and piloting AI are pretty much like early adopters of AI. I would say we're still in that phase, like not super early, but like still early.
Yeah,
And but right now we do have firms who are already have tried something, adopted something. So it's not like you're the first AI tool they're looking at.
absolutely.
But do you have any clients telling you, "Hey, we chose you because the competition is like that," or like, so what's the difference between you and the competition? That's my question.
So I'll go back to the village reference I mentioned. So the reason why people are choosing us is the deep domain expertise, the speed that we build things,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then the support we offer. So, and the real design partners that shape the product. So architecture and the AEC industry in general is a word to mouth industry, right? And there's a lot of trust involved. We've had companies who they tried all of our competitors, they did trials with them and us at the same time on the same project, and they ended up with us. I don't want to name the company. This is a specific
Yeah, that's
company
fine.
that tried specific competitors. Um,
I
and
know them, but it's okay. Yeah.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Like maybe that worked for them, and for somebody else, we don't work, the competitor is better, because every case is different, right? Um, but we are going really deep. That's the main difference.
Mhm.
Again, we bought subscriptions and we run this on different competitor platforms, and I, again, I'm biased. I'm gonna tell you that this is the best thing
Yeah,
ever.
of course.
But unless people use it, that's the only time they understand. I'll
Mm.
give you this example. There's this senior principal in one of the firms we work, Kevin, and we went with them. They started the trial. He used it. Before he used it, he was really skeptical. And then after that, now he's the one referring companies left and right. And people are coming and say, we heard from Kevin that this is great. And if Kevin, who doesn't use technology, is excited about this, it has to be the real deal.
Mm.
Um, so that's the main differentiator, I would say.
Nice. I love how many times you reference like the word of mouth. So it
Oh
seems
yeah,
that
yeah, and
yeah.
that's how it works. And I mean, I think if I narrow it down to one thing on why we're different, we're building this because we've experienced the problem firsthand. It's not because it sounded like a cool idea. Oh, my friend told me that I need to build on code compliance or QA/QC because that's what architects did. I'm a software engineer. Let's build this cool thing, right? This is something we observed from the inside. We worked on this. We didn't observe it from the outside.
All right, cool. Financial runway. I know we talked a little bit about the like your investors, but I guess you're a VC back then, and you have to report to. I mean, VC is how it typically works. But like,
Yes,
yeah, you
yes.
probably have a runway. I mean, you have revenue now as well, right? So
Yes. So we have,
yeah,
I mean, we are in a very good position.
yeah, that's
We've
awesome,
we've
man.
we've raised capital, we have strong support, we have revenue. We're focused on building for the long term. So we're not going anywhere.
That's amazing. I'm super happy to hear that. Yes, let's talk about the roadmap.
Mhm.
What's next for Archiboost? We've seen, so it's what is it, March 24th, 2026, and we can see three different kind of big modules:
Mhm.
code compliance, knowledge hub, and QA/QC review. What's
Mhm.
next? Do you want to expand within those modules? Do you want to add new modules?
We are going, yeah, so we're building a deeper QA/QC automation. So we want to go and find, like, let's say, those numbers are kind of weird, but let's say we're catching 75% of the things. We want to go even deeper and catch 95% of the things. So we want to
Mm,
build deeper automations. We also are expanding to build better integrations. So I showed you the calculators and that people need to upload the documents and all that. We want to get to the point where you just are one click away from Revit or from Construction Cloud, and then you pull all the information in and you don't have to do anything. Because we've been talking to a lot of architects and engineers, and they are saying, this is great, but I don't want to spend 15, 20 minutes setting up my project, right?
mm,
So how do you get them instantaneously to use this? And that's why we've seen a lot of pull with QAQC, because people just they're one click away from seeing the tickets and the violations. At the same time, we're building custom workflows with enterprise clients, which helps us push the product forward faster. So there are things we are, I mean, I'm not gonna name them right now because we're still working with them. But there are other things we're expanding, which are part of course of the same timeline, different phases, things that save time. We've been hearing from a lot of our clients that they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on specific things. And that those are the things we can definitely automate. But we're cautious and cognizant that there are specific things that AI can do. We don't want to try to push those just for the sake of pushing AI down their throats, right? We want to
mm.
automate the things that AI can do right now.
Okay. I have a question about like contact, meaning that like because I see in startups all the time, like you either have companies that are really good in like customer service and like they respond immediately, or you have
Yep.
companies that are like they don't respond at all. So how do you handle this? Like how do you have like a, I mean, you probably don't have a customer service department, it's probably you, but how do people reach out? Like can they give you direct feedback? Do you have like I mean, you said about this 2 week period of testing, but like what if they want to test it and when they say they want to suggest improvements? How do they do that?
So when we do the pilot,
Hmm.
we set up calls with them, weekly calls. But we are one email away. Uh,
Hmm.
we are literally talking to people as we talk. Sorry, we are literally there for them. So I was actually trying to find an email from one of our clients.
Okay, yeah. You go
Uh,
ahead. I'm not gonna share your screen
yeah,
until you tell me still.
let
So
me find this because I wasn't thinking of this, but let me see.
yeah,
Uh,
sure. Take your time.
Excel. So the director of technology from one of the companies that we were. Oh, there it is. Okay. Um, Let me see how I can show you this.
Hmm.
Can I hide his name? There. Okay. Can you share my screen?
Yes. Maybe you can zoom in just a little bit.
Yes. So this was an email from the director of technology from one of the companies, and they're basically saying, "Oops, sorry." They're basically saying, "Is there a way that we can have the issues as an Excel or a PDF?" Because we showed it on the session on that
Hmm.
Monday. And let me show you our answer. um, and his answer. So we basically said we're gonna have it ready in the next couple of hours.
Okay.
And let me.
Yeah, I'm so happy I asked the question now.
I'm
No,
gonna.
I'm also
Here.
asking it. Yeah, I want to learn more. So yeah,
No,
good
no, no, for
example
sure.
of.
So we're not the Autodesk of this world. We are the people who can build something in hours, and you get back to this, and in 2 hours we had this ready, and they started using it. So that's how it works. We're one email, one Slack channel away. We can also build Zoom integrations and Slack integration for the company, so you don't even have to email us. You just chat like we are team members, and again, we're one message away.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that about entrepreneurs, man. So yeah, that's awesome. And especially, I mean, listen, I actually didn't know, but the story you said, like you finished two, like university, like basically 2 degrees, plus all of this experience in the industry, and then you turned entrepreneur. So how was that journey for you?
I was always entrepreneurial. The plan for me was to build a small boutique firm with my
Mhm.
wife, who's also an architect. Um, and somewhere along the way, this changed. So the one thing I didn't mention is that there was another company that I co-founded 2 years ago called Pantheon AI,
Mhm.
um, which got a big buzz because we raised a ton of money from VCs and all that. So the way I got into the startup ecosystem is because two of my friends told me that, hey, we want to build this. Do you want to be the domain expert? Um, and the business there model there was different. We were trying to sell the architectural service to real estate developers, which like right now I can tell it was really dumb. And that's why this didn't work and we closed the company. Um, but that's the way that I got into the startup ecosystem, understood how this business type of work works, and then of course what to avoid and what are the lessons learned so that Archiboost can be what I thought Pantheon should have been.
Mhm. Yeah. Wow. And you've been in stealth for a while now. Like you only recently went out of stealth, right? Or like, I mean, I know
Yeah,
you said you've been building for a year, but like, I haven't heard about you in June last year, for example. So.
I know. So we were in stealth, which it's weird. What does stealth mean? I don't know. Because technically we were working with architecture firms, big names, and we were building the software together. I guess stealth means that unless we reach out to you, you cannot use the platform yet. And
Mm,
that was until we presented 3 weeks ago to the AIASF AI symposium. That was a big moment for us because we went there and we presented to everyone, and that's where we build our official website, and now everyone can reach out and we can start working with anyone who's interested in this. So it's been a
amazing.
year. I think that maybe we should have come out of stealth earlier because the pool we see right now, it's crazy.
Mm,
But we wanted to make sure that we are at a stage where this is stable, this can support the 1,000 users, the 2,000 users. So we wanted to make sure that what we sell, it is purposely built for the AEC, and it can serve the real projects, right?
no, I think that you're hitting the right pain points on the head. You know, like you're not only the compliance, which is super important, and so like as you said, like especially comparing with the competition, I think that that's where most people are right now. Like again, it's early 2026, and people are like, okay, I tried this, but the results are you know, or the results are eh. So if you see something, okay, now it works, and I can get like fast, you know, improvements, and I see that this is not only for this. So it's not like your garage where you have like different like types of tools
Yes.
for like thousands of tools for like different things.
Yeah.
Basically it's like a big hammer that can do anything, you know, or like I think that that's what I'm seeing potential
Yeah.
for. That's what you're building toward. But especially like taking care of all of these hard parts that are super important. That's I think crucial for you guys because code compliance is super important and it's hard
Mhm.
because there's thousands of pages. QA/QC is super important and it's hard. Knowledge Hub
Mhm.
is just, I mean, it's just a, how do you say, a no-brainer to build, but it's
Yeah,
super important and it's hard. So it's
it is.
I think you're taking care of those things, which is
I think
incredible.
the reason we targeted those things is because there's no architect that goes to school and says, "Oh, I want to do code compliance. I want
Yeah.
to redline drawings at 2 a.m." They go to school because they want to design, right? And then you go to the profession and you spend 90% of your time not doing the thing that you enjoy, right?
Mm.
And that's a long time to spend at work not enjoying your life, right?
Yeah.
Plus 90% of those things are automatable. Like, why are we still doing this? Like other industries, they've already got there. We should go there and automate those things and
Mhm.
take this time back as architects and engineers and developers and contractors and do other things that are more meaningful.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so happy that the kind of the hustle culture is fading away right now, a little bit.
Mhm.
I think it's especially with the new generation, because now you're reminded. Like, when I saw the photo, I got reminded of Big as well, because like I just remember staying super late one night, and I'm like walking back, and I'm feeling miserable. I'm like, why am I here? It's like it's midnight, or like it's so late. I should have been at home and eat dinner or whatever. Like it's some
Yes.
delivery that anyway tomorrow I need to be here at like 9, and anyway work on the same drawings, even though like whatever. And I'm just I remember walking walking back, and it's like Friday, man. It's Friday. I should have been out drinking or something. And I'm walking back through the office, and it's like I just see a bunch of miserable faces, and it's midnight. It's like bunch of miserable faces looking back at me. I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one.
I
They're
know,
like,
I know.
but from the outside, it's like amazing. You're here. I'm like, no, it doesn't feel amazing. It should have been
It's
like this. There should
I
be a
think
smarter way.
it's a generation thing like you mentioned, and I think our generation somehow it felt like it was a badge of honor if you
Mm,
stayed late, or if even in school if you pull an all-nighter. And then same for the company, like, oh yeah, look, I stayed until 3 a.m. yesterday. uh but it shouldn't be like that, because most of these kind of delays and overtime just happen because of bad coordination. It's not that
yeah.
you're really it's not, yeah, it's not because it's you're actually pushing the profession to the fullest.
Mm. Yeah, and then tell me again, like you're saying you're pushing, but like how many projects are delivered on time? Like
Yeah,
what's
exactly, exactly. It's not
so,
that you stayed until 3 a.m., but look, we caught every single mistake, and then
yeah.
it got delivered on time, and we didn't get any RFIs, right?
Mm. Yeah, a lot of burnout as well. I hope that
Yeah.
yeah, that's unfortunate. Anyways,
Hopefully, tools like Archiboost can fix that.
exactly, exactly. That's why I love the name. I'm like, okay, Archiboost. I understand. I understand. I love it.
Yep, yep.
Um, awesome, Joros. Thank you so much for this presentation. It was great. It was great to meet you and learn about this. I look forward to seeing you. I guess I hope in 6 months and a year to see what else you're gonna come up with, and then you're
Yeah.
gonna tell, "Hey, we have thousands of clients. We have hundreds of companies signed up." So that's gonna be awesome to hear, because I do think this is something you're onto something big here. I really think that.
Thank you,
Um,
thank you. Thanks for having me. That's amazing. Again, I've been following the webinar for a while, so it was a dream come true.
yeah. Well, if I'm at least somebody's dream, so that's good to hear, man. I'm joking. What are you the proudest of so far? Both in your personal, like you again moved from Greece to the States, I'm guessing, and then built a career here, a life here. Now you're building this. What are you like the proudest looking back, like off?
There've been a lot of different milestones. I think working for the companies that I've worked was a big thing for me. So when I boarded the plane to move to the US for my master's, the goal was to work for SOM. Like I
Mm,
knew I wanted to work for them, right? So I'm really proud of this. The licensure is a big one, like passing all the exams and making sure that, like, I had to pass 7 exams to become licensed in California, right? Um, and it takes, I think, 12 years on average an architect to be licensed in the
mm.
US. Um, I really pushed those limits. I got licensed in 6 months. So, so
Wow.
that I'm really proud of. But yeah, for the company, apart from like the personal stuff, I think what I'm mostly proud about is the team and the product. And when I say the team, I don't just mean the me and my co-founder and the engineers we have on staff. I mean the whole team, like the investors and the clients we have. I've been saying that again and again. If anyone thinks that any startup or any company is the Elon Musk, the CEO, the one person driving forward the company, that's a fucking lie. That's fake. Like, it takes a village. um, so I'm really proud of the team. And then I'm also really proud that this thing was an idea a year ago. We were sketching with Vasu. We were thinking, oh, is this even possible? And then now it's being used on multi-million-dollar projects. That I'm really proud of.
That's amazing. That is true, man. I think that's the like what entrepreneurship is all about. People think, somebody's out there, somebody's going to solve the problem, but no, unless you take it, by the reins
I've
yourself.
I've been waiting for 20 years for all this to solve this, but they never came.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Awesome. Well, thank you, Georgios, once again. Like it's been a pleasure having you. Really pleasure to chat with you as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have any last words? Anything you want to mention?
I mean, if anyone wants to reach out, should I send my email here somewhere or the website or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, website is there, and then I think if you go on the website, you can just like get started and book a Calendly. Is it with you or is it?
Sure. Yes, yes. Well, you can book a
Yeah, with
call. I
you.
mean,
So I think yeah, but
I'm gonna still type my email here.
yeah,
If
sure, sure. Go ahead. I can.
um,
Yes. Let me see. You typed it in the private chat. Let me just
oh, okay.
move it to the comments. There we go. All right, so people can reach out directly. Georgios at archiboost.ai. Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, sure.
We
I
try
mean,
to
it's
keep it
simple for
simple.
me because I'm like, that's why you guessed immediately. You were just like Croatia, Serbia because the names are pretty much the
I
same.
know, I know. I saw your name like it's either Serbian or Croatian.
Even though
I,
I'll tell you this, it's when you're from there, most people don't understand it, but when you're from there, I still have yet to meet any non-Croatian person who's called Stjepan because Serbians have Stefan.
right.
But that's so the name can give it away, but also the last name. So you have Mikulić is both Serbian Croatian, but 90% are Croatian.
Oh,
Maybe there's
interesting.
like a few Serbians. I've never met them, but like I'm guessing. But you have like some last names, for example, Petrovic, who are like both, But then you have like
Drazen?
some last names
Drazen?
that, sorry,
Drazen?
yeah, Drazen, yeah, exactly, yeah. But they can be both,
I
and
know.
then you have some last names that are just Serbian, just Croatian. But when you're from there, you kind of know, you
I
kind of
know.
guess. It's like you can always be wrong, but it's like it's 90. It's like AI. It's like 90% is correct. So,
Yep, yep. Well, my last name is super Greek, so I don't think people are getting confused.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Where from Greece are you?
I'm from Athens,
Okay.
but my dad was a professor at a university, so we moved there when I was young. It's called
Mm,
Ioannina. It's a small city.
okay. Okay. Nice. Well, Yorgos, super nice to have you. I'm gonna put you in the background, or like me, you can also log off,
Of course.
depending how busy you are. I
Yeah.
just
Thank you
wanna
so much
tell,
for having me. This was amazing. I loved talking to you. We
yeah,
should do it again.
likewise,
We should do it
likewise,
again
yeah,
soon.
yes, definitely. I wish I had more time this week, end of this week in San Francisco, but maybe next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, or come
Perfect.
to
Thank you
LA.
so much.
I'm here all the time, so yeah.
We'll come there. We'll be in San Diego for the AIA 26.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna drive there and see. So yeah,
Okay, so I'll definitely see you there in June then.
okay, yeah, awesome. Okay.
Cool, man. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you once again. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed these demos. We have another one in 2 days, actually. So that's something super exciting. That one is going to be very exciting, especially if you're an architect or a developer, because this company that we have on Thursday is moving, like even like anybody who wants to build their own home is helping them find the best price for that and the best way to design small family homes and single family homes. Essentially, that's what the platform started out to be, and what I know about it. Now, where they are, we're going to see on Thursday. And of course, just a reminder that if you, let me just remove this and add this. If you are interested in learning more about AI and actually getting real AI skills, then you're going to love our Mastering AI and AC course. It's on sale until 1st of April. And this is the last time we're offering lifetime access to it. So once you join, it's yours for lifetime, including all the updates and all the additions and so on. So, and of course, with it, you will get 12 months of Building AI and AC once it launches later this year. And Building AI and AC is our new membership, so to speak, where we have live events, we have workshops, and a lot more within our new community. So I hope you're going to join. I hope you're going to see the value in it because we've been building it for a while now. We have more than 1,000 students from 75 countries and growing. And I hope, that you're going to join too. So that was pretty much it. So thank you everybody for watching, and hopefully see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.